anticipation and expectation. I like the way Webster said this. So Webster said, we ought to have the power of anticipation and expectation. In other words, we ought to expect God to do it. And we ought to anticipate that God gonna do it. We ought to believe that God gonna do it. We ought to act like it already done. See, when you have faith to believe, I say God got the power to make it happen. But if you don't have the faith to believe, I say God cannot make it happen. When God said, oh God, don't let me slow down and deal with this. In the Greek, this word means a mark which to fix your eyes as a runner who is looking toward the goal line. Lord have mercy. I want you to understand something here. There's an absolute need for a vision. There's an absolute need that you don't let the devil steal your dream. Why? Because vision gives direction. Vision gives motivation. That's why you come to the house of God. Some of y'all didn't start dreaming. Some of y'all never visioned till you got full of the Holy Ghost and you got full of this word. Now all of a sudden you go to sleep at night and God begins to disturb your rest. Why? Because God trying to talk to you. God trying to show you some stuff. God said when you get busy about my business, I'm going to take care of your business. But when you get slack on my business, I get slack on your business. But if you want to see a move of God in your life, I'm talking about, Lord have mercy, like you've never experienced before. You get busy about doing God's business. All of a sudden at night, you won't be able to sleep at night because God will be messing with you. Somebody out there know what I'm talking about. And so we must understand, without a vision, there is no direction. There is no motivation. People perish, church perish. People do not want to follow someone or something that is perishing. That's the reason why a lot of us cannot win souls, because we don't see ourselves winning souls. You got to first see yourself doing something before you ever be able to do it. If you see yourself working miracles, you'll be able to work miracles. But if you never see yourself doing it, till you won't do it. So now what God is saying to us today, God's saying if you have a vision, people will walk behind you. People will stand with you. That's why Job said he opened their ears in time like that, and he gave them wisdom, and he gave them instruction. They got a man by the name of Willard Jolly. He said there are 10 steps to building your dream. Look at your neighbor and say, do you have a dream? Say the preacher about to help you with your dream. Mr. Jolly says, he said, number one, decide what you want. How in the world can God bless you with what you want and you don't know what you want? How in the world God gonna give you the desires of your heart and you don't have nothing in your heart for God to fill? You got to first know what you want. If you don't have a dream, how you going to have a dream come true? That's all right. I'm gonna get y'all out the wire. Oh, y'all want to act like them people at the Catholic Church. Number two is say write it down and be specific. Whatever it is that you're asking God for, write it down. Write it down and be specific. Until it's written, it's not serious, and the more specific, the more better. I like the way Mr. Jolly deal with this. The third thing he says here, he say read that thing 3 times a day. He say read it when you get up in the morning. He said read it at noonday. He said before you go to bed at night. He said take and read that thing again. The fourth thing he says set the date of accomplishment. If you don't set a date, you will procrastinate. See, that's the reason why a lot of us not accomplishing great things. Why? Because we don't have a deadline. And because we don't have a deadline, we just keep putting it all to tomorrow. So Mr. Jolly says set a date of the thing that you want to accomplish. The fifth thing he said, think of it often. While you're walking by the way, you ought to start thinking about Mr. Right. You ought to start thinking about Miss Right. You ought to start thinking about your business. You ought to start thinking